Morning everyone. Monday morning, 10 to 9. I'm about to start sanding the yellow spots on the floor. And then I'm going to try to masquerade them with a similar color paint. And after that paint has cured, I will seal them off with a non-visible coating, really. That coating works really well. I tried it out on 2 tiles. Water doesn't penetrate, doesn't go into the tile anymore. The tiles are really dry. I've had the floor heating, underfloor heating on the whole weekend. So they're not going to be any more dry than this. So I'm thinking that I see the maximum of the yellow spots. Huh? Remember, those yellow spots were not visible when the tiles are wet or humid. They're only visible when the tiles become dry. Now, there have been a whole lot of suggestions by you after the last video about how to tackle that, and I think the best one was from someone who said put some clear coat on it, like some sort of a varnish, a matte varnish. I was thinking, yeah, that could sort of mimic the effect that the humidity has on the tile, possibly, and thereby let the yellow stain disappear, and then maybe that could work. But you know what, I honestly don't have the time to do a whole lot of research. There was another suggestion: use acetone. That's a good one. That would probably dissolve the stain, but then the paint goes inside the tile. It's all the way through. So I think at this moment, given the fact that I don't have too much time, I want to do the grouting, I want to put the kitchen block in, I want to put a fridge in, I want to put furniture in. I think the best way is just to remove as much of the yellow stain as is possible with the sander, and then seal the tile with a coating, seal the yellow stain with a paint coating, which I try to bring up to the color of the tile. Don't know whether I'm going to paint the whole tile or just part of the tile. I don't know how yet. I will practice a little bit later. I just inspected on the little stove, and the super glue with which I glued this part on doesn't seem to be so super at all, because it just came off. The whole part. Well, it just came off, it was off. I don't understand why, really. It seems that it hasn't really adhered to this cast iron part, and it must be because there's a coating, a black coating on this part. Don't know whether you can see. Yeah. Yeah, obviously that's a coating to prevent the cast iron from rusting. I did scuff it up, I did sand it, but apparently that's not enough. I should really wire brush it hard with a wire brush on the drill, or use a sanding machine and probably some acetone, and just get it to really bare steel. I do have another glue as well, also for chimneys, yeah, for fire stoves. Maybe this one has gone off, because the guy who gave it to me, the seller of the chimney, he said that he never uses it. He gave it to me for free. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take this glue off. I'm gonna have to really clean this to bare steel, probably with an angle grinder even. Yeah, and then I'm gonna try the other glue. Okay, so yeah, all these processes, they take days, not in the amount of work, but in the amount of curing time. The weather is now, what is it, 13, 15, maybe a peak of 20 degrees centigrade today, and paints, glues and sealants just don't cure that fast anymore. So that's why it takes time. But then, you know, I did test out the floor heating, the underfloor heating, and accidentally it went up really high and it got really hot in here. So I'm not too fussed about not immediately being able to use the fire stove, although I would love to fire it up. Right, this is another little project for today then. Yeah, okay, cool. Just to give you an impression on the paint pigment I bought. You have a look at the colors, but see whether they match the tile. I think I gotta try to get to this this second color. I think that becomes pretty close. So yeah. And all the tiles have a different color. Actually, when I sand the tiles, they become like this peachy color. Yeah, that actually comes quite close to the second. Maybe I'll need to add a drop of red in there, which I have. Yeah. And just to give you another impression on these stains, I'll take you up close. These are the stains. They're bad. You see, it's really, I think, yeah, it's really something like a paint. So yeah, some of you suggested don't worry about the stains, but I do worry about the stains because they really look out of place. It's not part of the natural product. It is, you know, a stain from a paint or so. So yeah, I'm going to start sanding, and then we'll do some artwork. See you later. I'm gonna have it fading in with the rest of the tile. I don't want to paint the whole tile, you know, because then everything gets a uniform color again. I don't really want that. Well, I haven't been to art school, but you wouldn't say it, huh? I think I could do a little bit more brown in there. Yeah, I could do it a little bit more brown. So far, this looks quite promising. That doesn't look too bad at all. Now, I must say... Sorry guys, sorry for the interruption, but I have something to say. You're watching now a re-edited, reconditioned episode of This Old French House. The episode that you're watching right now happened in the past. In fact, the house that we are rebuilding is basically finished right now, and it is up for sale. Yeah, unfortunately we have to sell it. Nadia and I have other plans. We are going to move to Nadia's mother country on the other side of the world. We can't have two houses at this moment. So yeah, the house is up for sale, and you know what? I really want you to buy it. The viewers of this channel should buy it. Not somebody who's never seen this channel before. So please see my email address below. If you want to have more information, write me a short email and I'll send you all the information you need to make an informed decision or an appointment to come by and have a look at the house. Thank you guys. Back to the video. I must say this looks really promising. You can see the tiles that I've done. If you don't know what has happened, you wouldn't see it. I've made two new batches of paint, one a little bit darker than the other, so I can mix a little bit in, so that it becomes even more natural. It looks very promising, but the proof in the pudding is obviously after it has fully cured the paint and I have applied that sealant on it. I really don't think I don't think that yellow is coming back. No, I don't think so. So I've done the whole floor. I mixed up two batches of the color that I saw in the tiles, and I've sort of layered them, mixed them on the tile to get a non-uniform effect. These tiles here are dry and they look pretty good, but then, you know, if I would just wet the floor, it would also look really good because the yellow would be gone. But anyway, I'm assuming that that the yellow is gone because I've done a little bit of a test with this paint on a tile that I have spare, and that sealed off the yellow spot really well. It wasn't even sanded. I've sanded all these spots and I've covered them with paint, and I'm gonna apply the sealant now. I've got the floor heating on 23 degrees, so that should all dry pretty quick. It's all water based, so yeah, it's not too bad. Have a look. That corner is still wet. I did that last. Yeah, and the colors, they fade well into it, I must say. I'm pretty happy with the result so far. But that is if the stains don't come back, and I can only know that for sure in a couple of days probably. But for now I'm assuming that that we're good. Yeah, I'm gonna start applying that sealant. Good morning, it's Tuesday morning, and looking at the tiles, and they look pretty good. They look really good actually. They look actually exactly as I would like them to be looking. Yeah, have a look. So you clearly see the differences in color in the tiles, and that's what I like. I have blended two different colors of paint that I mixed, and I've tapped them on the tiles. It still looks, yeah, fairly natural. and sometimes it's really hard to see where I've actually painted and where not. I was applying a coating of this well, sealant, which is water thin, transparent, leaves a matte finish. And only when I was doing that I could see where I have painted, because the non-painted part of the tile soaks up this sealant really quick, and on the painted tile it doesn't penetrate in it. It sits on top and it dries on top. So yeah, in some places I couldn't see where I exactly had painted. So maybe there's a job opening for me at the Louvre as an art restorer, so might have found a new career. No, I'm really pleased. This is I'm really pleased with the result, but I'm also really pleased that I didn't waste too much time on R&D and trying to figure out how to get rid of that yellow. That yellow was a really thick paint-like substance. It was laying on top of the tile. It had a sort of a glossy finish. When I would sand the top off, you would see that the color would have penetrated into the more porous part of the inside of the tile. Yeah, so that was just the way to tackle it, you know, sanding the top off and then sealing the tile off with paint, which is matched with the color of the tile. And then on top, yeah, this sealant. So this sealant will help me now to protect the tiles from when I start to do the grouting. I can actually wash the tile off and rub excess grouting off the tile without damaging it or staining it. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna empty the lot. That beanbag needs to go up in the loft. That little guy needs to find another place. And then we'll start to make up a batch of grout. It's going to be a white grout. It's an elastic grout. It says on the package it's suitable for underfloor heating. That's really important. And then put on the knee pads, and we're gonna apply the grout. And that would be really cool, because once that grout is done and set, then I can move in a kitchen block, I can move in a fridge, I can actually really start decorating the lot. I can make the sideboards, or what do you call them? Skirting board, kicking boards, the ones that sit on the floor in front of the wall. That sort of stuff, all kinds of finishing. I need to finish the window frames, and I have waited with it because you could always have paint falling on the floor, but in this case now it's sealed, and I will apply another sealant coat after the grouting. Then you can just wipe it off, and the tiles are protected. So yeah, let's get on with the job. Want to have this done before the afternoon, because in the afternoon the déchetterie, the tip, is opening, and I need to bring another large load of rubble and rubbish to the tip, because from tomorrow on I should really start digging that big heap up and removing it, because I need to free up the backside of that wall in order to install a drain for the kitchen block, and also because that wall needs to dry out, and it can't with that heap in the back. As you've seen in other videos, and as you will see later. Alright, let's stop rambling on and carry on with the job, otherwise it never gets done. Bye. Yeah, the piping bag didn't really work. And it was not about the piping, well, it was about the piping bag. The piping bag was just not holding up. It was way too small. If I had a more professional, larger one, it would have worked. So I'm doing it just the traditional way, I guess. But this is the way I've done grouting before. The only difference is that the grouting I've done before was with tiles that were glazed, so the excess grout would come off real easily. And with these tiles, have to be a bit more vigilant. Otherwise, I'm left with a white sheen